In the blue silence of the ocean, something transparent drifts. It has no bones, no brain, no heart. Yet it has survived longer than almost any animal we know. Before dinosaurs walked the earth, jellyfish were already here. Before trees covered the land, they drifted through ancient water. Before mammals, birds, and flowers, they pulsed quietly in the sea. They look fragile, almost weightless, almost temporary. But their history is almost impossible to break. This is the jellyfish, a drifting ghost made mostly of water, beautiful enough to hypnotize, simple enough to confuse us, dangerous enough to kill, and ancient enough to make dinosaurs seem young. To understand jellyfish, we must first understand that success in nature does not always look complicated. At first glance, a jellyfish seems almost unreal. Its body is soft, clear, and delicate. It moves by pulsing its bell. With each contraction, it pushes water behind it. Then it relaxes and drifts forward. This movement is simple, but efficient. Not fast like a shark. Not precise like an octopus, but perfectly suited for a life carried by currents. Most of its body is water. Its form is almost the same substance as the sea around it. This makes it look like a living piece of the ocean, a shape the sea briefly decided to hold. But inside that fragile body is a powerful design. Jellyfish do not need lungs. Oxygen can pass through their thin tissues. They do not need a complex brain. A simple nerve net helps coordinate movement and response. They do not need bones. The water supports them. They do not need to chase prey with speed. Their tentacles turn drifting into hunting. Along those tentacles are microscopic stinging cells called nematocysts. Tiny weapons held under pressure. When triggered, they fire faster than a blink. A harpoon-like thread pierces the prey. Venom enters. The prey is stunned or killed. The jellyfish does not think about the strike. It does not aim like a predator with eyes. It simply waits for contact. Touch becomes attack. Contact becomes capture. This is hunting through passive violence. A ghost drifting through the water with invisible traps. Some jellyfish feed on plankton. Some catch fish larvae. Some eat other jellyfish. They may look peaceful, but they are predators. Slow predators. Silent predators. Predators carried by the sea itself. The current brings food to them. Their tentacles do the rest. This strategy has worked for hundreds of millions of years. That is what makes them so astonishing. They are not advanced in the way we usually imagine. They are successful in a deeper way. They survived by needing very little. No skeleton to build, no brain to fuel, no complex organs to maintain, just water, nerves, stinging cells, and time. In a changing world, simplicity can be strength. Long before humans named them, jellyfish filled ancient seas. Their soft bodies rarely fossilize, but rare traces show their ancient presence. They drifted through worlds we would not recognize. Seas without modern fish. Seas without whales. Seas without coral reefs as we know them. Yet jellyfish were already pulsing through the water. They survived mass extinctions. They survived changing climates. They survived the rise and fall of countless predators. The ocean changed around them again and again. But the basic jellyfish strategy endured. Drift, pulse, sting, reproduce, repeat through deep time. Their life cycle can be stranger than their bodies. Many jellyfish begin as tiny larvae. These larvae settle onto surfaces and become polyps, small, attached, and almost hidden. A polyp may look nothing like the drifting adult. It waits quietly. Then, under the right conditions, it can produce young jellyfish. Tiny forms break away into the water and grow into medusae. The bell-shaped adults we recognize. This means a jellyfish is not always a drifting ghost. Sometimes it is a hidden life, waiting for its moment. And when conditions shift, many can appear at once. This is how blooms begin. Suddenly, the water fills with pulsing bodies. Thousands. Millions. A living cloud spreading through the sea. Blooms can be beautiful from a distance. But they can also disrupt ecosystems. They may compete with fish for plankton. They may consume fish eggs and larvae. They can clog fishing nets, block coastal systems, and change how people use beaches. A bloom is not just a spectacle. It is a sign that conditions have shifted. Jellyfish often thrive where other animals struggle. Warmer waters can favor some species. Overfishing can remove competitors and predators. Pollution and nutrient runoff can alter coastal ecosystems. Low oxygen zones can make life harder for fish. But some jellyfish can tolerate difficult conditions. This does not mean jellyfish are villains. It means they are opportunists. When the ocean changes, they respond. When gaps appear, they fill them. Their success can reveal imbalance. like a warning written in transparent bodies. Yet jellyfish are also food for many animals. Sea turtles eat them. Some fish feed on them. Even seabirds and marine mammals may consume them. In the deep sea, dead jellyfish can sink and feed animals far below the surface. Even ghosts become nutrients. Nothing in the ocean truly disappears. It changes form. It sinks. It feeds something else. This is the hidden economy of the sea. Jellyfish are not outside that economy. They are both predator and prey. Both bloom and warning. Both beauty and sting. This contradiction is what makes them so captivating. Some jellyfish are almost invisible, their bodies vanishing against blue water. Others glow with bioluminescent light green, blue, or ghostly white. In darkness, they look like drifting stars. Some have long trailing tentacles like threads of glass. Some have bells, shaped like umbrellas. Some pulse in slow golden rhythm. Others carry venom powerful enough to seriously harm or even kill. The jellyfish world is more diverse than most people imagine. There are moon jellies, soft and pale. Lion's mane jellyfish with enormous tentacles. Box jellyfish with dangerous venom. Comb jellies that shimmer with rainbow-like cilia. Not all are true jellyfish, but all seem otherworldly. The ocean has many ways to make a ghost, and many ways to make that ghost survive. Consider the moon jelly. It floats like a pale umbrella in the water. Its body is almost transparent. It looks peaceful, almost harmless. But it is still a predator of tiny life. Beauty does not cancel function. Now consider the lion's mane jellyfish. Its tentacles can stretch longer than many animals, forming a drifting curtain of stinging threads. Small fish may hide among them, while predators hesitate to enter the living net. The jellyfish becomes both shelter and threat. Then consider the box jellyfish. Its body looks simple, but its venom can be among the most dangerous in the ocean. A fragile-looking animal becomes a serious hazard. This is another jellyfish contradiction. Soft body. Deadly touch. No brain. Effective hunter. Ancient lineage. Modern success. Imagine swimming through a jellyfish bloom. Bells pulse all around you. Tentacles trail like invisible wires. The water itself seems alive. Beautiful, but dangerous to touch. Silent, but filled with feeding. Fragile, but overwhelming in number. A bloom changes the feeling of the sea. Fish may avoid the area. Fishermen may pull up nets heavy with jelly. Swimmers may leave the water. Scientists may ask what changed. Was the water warmer? Were predators removed? Were nutrients increased by runoff? Were currents different that year? Jellyfish blooms become clues. Not just events, but messages from the ecosystem. They tell us the ocean is not static. It responds to pressure. It reorganizes. And sometimes, jellyfish are the winners. This idea can feel unsettling. A future ocean with more jellyfish and fewer fish. More drifting ghosts. Fewer familiar swimmers. But jellyfish are not causing every problem. Often, they reveal problems already created. They are survivors of imbalance. Masters of opportunity. Ancient drifters ready for modern change. This is why they matter. Not only because they are beautiful, not only because they sting, but because they are indicators of ocean transformation. Their success asks uncomfortable questions. What happens when we remove too many fish? What happens when water's warm? What happens when coastal ecosystems are overloaded? Jellyfish do not answer in words. They answer in numbers, in blooms, in stings, in nets full of gelatinous bodies, in ecosystems shifting toward the strange. Yet we should not reduce them to warnings. They are animals with their own deep history. They were here long before us. And unless the ocean changes beyond recognition, they may outlast us. Their bodies seem temporary, but their lineage is ancient. Their lives seem simple, but their success is profound. They remind us that survival does not always require complexity. Sometimes it requires flexibility, repetition, patience, and a sting waiting in the water. Imagine the ocean at night. The surface is black and quiet. Below, a jellyfish begins to glow. A pulse of blue light passes through its body. Then another. Around it, other lights appear. The darkness fills with drifting stars. This scene feels almost supernatural, but it is biology. Chemistry becoming light inside living tissue. Light used to startle, to communicate, to confuse predators, or simply as part of life in darkness. The jellyfish does not know it is beautiful. It does not know it looks like a ghost. It does not know it frightens swimmers. It only continues. Pulse by pulse, current by current, generation by generation. Through ages that erased mightier animals, dinosaurs vanished. Giant marine reptiles disappeared. Ancient predators rose and fell. Jellyfish remained, not because they were stronger, but because their simplicity was enough to feed, enough to reproduce, enough to drift into the next age. This is the quiet power of jellyfish. They do not conquer the ocean. They become part of its movement. They do not fight the current. They use it. They do not need complexity to survive. They need only the sea to carry them. Somewhere now, a jellyfish is pulsing in darkness. Its tentacles trail behind it. Tiny prey drift too close. The sting fires without thought. The ghost feeds. Above, humans look out at the waves. Below, ancient life continues its silent rhythm. The jellyfish is not weak. It is not a primitive failure. It is one of evolution's oldest success stories. A drifting ghost older than dinosaurs, and perhaps one of the future rulers of the sea